Hello, myself Sachin, and today we'll learn the difference between useMemo and useCallback hooks. The useMemo and useCallback hooks are similar but have different purposes. UseMemo caches the returned value of a function, so it is used to avoid expensive calculation on every render. For example, you can use useMemo when you want to return a memorized value. So we have example. Let's say we have a long list and we are sorting it and we are assigning it to the sorted list. So on initial and subsequent render, okay, it will perform sort and assign to the sorted list. It is without use memo. Now with use memo, we are having use memo here. So what it will do? It will do a long list sort and it will have a dependency array of long list. Whenever the long list changes, okay, this will run and it will assign to the sorted list. If there is no change in the long list, then it will remain same. Then sorted list will remain same. So in initial render, it will perform sort and remember output and assign to the sorted list. On subsequent render, it will check whether long list is same. It use remembered output. If not, then it will do the step one. So it will perform sort and remember output and assign to the sorted list. Now we come towards the use callback. So use callback caches the function definition itself. So it used to avoid recreating a function on every render. This is useful when a child component relies on a function passed down from a parent component. Without use callback, the function would be recreated each time the parent component re-renders. So which can be which can cause the child component to re-render unnecessarily. So the major difference between the hook is that the use callback returns a memorized function, while the use memo returns the memorized value. So we'll see the example. We have example of Fibonacci component. So here is the component. Okay, we have the default value of the index as 10. So its state and its Fibonacci number is 55. Okay, when we increment, it is rendered because we are incrementing it. So when we increment the counter, it is rendered. When we increment the uh, number of the Fibonacci series, let's say 11 index is 89, again it is rendering. It is 12, again it is rendering. When we increment the counter, so it is rendering again. So we don't want to render it when we increment the counter. So what we have done for that, we are using the use memo hook. So Fibonacci component with use memo. Okay, here we are using it here as use memo hook. Here fib value is uh, given the use memo hook and a dependency array is number. Okay, and a function is calculate Fibonacci and number is given to the input. So calculate Fibonacci is returning the Fibonacci value, okay, and it is a recursive function. So let's see what is happening in the when we use the use memo hook. Let's say 10 is the index, its Fibonacci number is 11. On the 11 uh, index, its number is 89. So it is memoized now. It is not rendered. It is memoized. Now when we increment the counter, so it should not again render. It is not rendering, but counter is increasing. So we can see it is functioning in a good manner. Okay, now we will discuss the use callback. First example is without use callback. We have to go to the index.js first. So we have a parent count and another value without use callback. So we have counter function here, okay, and we are having parent count in the return part and another value in another return part. So when we increment the parent count without use callback, it is rendering, and we have another child component. When we increment it, it is again rendering. So that's happening in the without use callback. Now when we use the use callback hook, you can see we are giving the increment a use callback. Okay, so it will be uh, callback when it is changing because count is given to the dependency array. So let's say we are incrementing the parent. It is memoized now and it is rendered with a use callback. Now when we increment the another value, it is only rendered. You can see it is increasing with use callback. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.